Welcome to the video. I had a big plan today for a huge bit where I would involve this Spider-Man cake, and I simply can't do that currently, but I do have this. Let's all give a shout out to James's 5th birthday. He's gonna be an integral part to the video just for this intro alone. Anyways, today we're gonna talk about the time that Spider-Man basically went through hell and back to get the best birthday gift he ever could. It's a bumpy ride, so I hope you enjoy the video. Leave a like and maybe subscribe for more. Thank you very much. See you later. The story starts off with Dormammu being transported to the mortal realm on the verge of destroying Earth. Yet all of Earth's mightiest heroes have united to stop Dormammu, with all of them immediately jumping into action. Doctor Strange attempts to stop Dormammu alone while the other heroes hold off his minions, but Spidey wants to help Strange. So he barrels in the way of the two of them while Strange is casting a spell. However, this ends up tampering with the spell and it causes some unforeseen consequences, like being transported to the realm of nothingness called the Void, where Spidey and Strange now exist outside of time. But Strange is able to rebuild their bodies from nothing and thinks of a plan to get out of the Void. After some time passes, Strange thinks that he can return both of them back to the mortal realm, but there might be some other problems laying ahead of them. Spidey is all for this though, and Strange casts the spell, and they end up finding themselves back in New York in complete ruin. Strange begins to say that they may have returned, but this isn't the correct placement and they are still outside of time itself. However, Spidey cuts him off immediately, swinging off to the screams of MJ being attacked. He tries his best to fight off Dormammu's men, but it's just no use, because eventually MJ would be killed right in front of him. But right as this happens, Spidey is thrusted to a different point in time with a much older Peter Parker over Aunt May's grave. And moments later, he would then watch the moment this old Peter would fight off hordes of officers and finally meet his end. Spidey would then be transferred to the moment he got his powers and try to stop it, but ultimately get thrusted away from this moment too. He would then find himself against Sandman, then Vulture, Lizard, Electro, and finally the death of Gwen Stacy, all in a span of a few seconds. This would end up causing Peter Parker to break down, and I mean who wouldn't, and beg for this hell to be over, but Strange's voice would reach out to him, telling him that he can fight through this and reunite with the ones he loves again. So Peter gets up and gets ready for the brutal trials that await him, fighting against every single awful, cruel, sad, and agonizing memory that he has ever had, never wavering, until he finally reaches the end of the loop and returns to the moment the very fight had begun, warning the heroes of what's to happen. And with the newfound knowledge, the heroes begin to fight with a new plan provided by Peter. A while after this, the world is saved, and Strange appears in front of Peter Parker to thank him for his help and to bestow him a gift for the trials he faced. Once this was all over, he swung back to his apartment where the ones closest to him would celebrate his birthday, and after the party would end, Peter would decide to walk up to the rooftop and open the gift Strange gave him. In the gift would be a note that would say, "You have 5 minutes, spend them as you wish," and he hears a familiar voice call to him. Peter turns around to find Uncle Ben, and at first Peter is completely flustered, but then asks for forgiveness from Uncle Ben, but Uncle Ben replies that there is no need for forgiveness. But what would disappoint him is if he didn't reach for the kind of life he knew Peter could achieve, and walked away from everything that he believed in. Peter would reply that that hasn't happened, and Uncle Ben is happy for that. Uncle Ben then asks Peter if he's happy, so he can finally rest. Peter then thinks of all of the things that he's had to face since Uncle Ben died, but then he replies to Uncle Ben saying that it's the damnedest thing, but yeah, he is happy, even if he doesn't see it sometimes. He then tells him that he's missed him so much, and to end the video, I'm just gonna dub over the rest.
I've missed you too, Peter. I love you, you know. I love you too, Ben. Goodbye, Pete. Take care of May for me. I will. I swear. I always have, and I always will. I know.
So, did you have a nice stroll on the roof?
Yeah, I did.
Good. I find that a moonlit walk helps clear my head. You too?
Yeah, it sure did this time. I love you, MJ. God, I love you so much. I want you to know that. Every night and every morning.
I love you too, Peter. My lover, my husband, my best friend. Good night, birthday boy. Happy birthday.